Ready to go? I'm here today at Mount Tabor Baptist Church with our county emergency operation group as well as state and national representatives. They'll all speak with you. We're going to be limited at the sheriff's office to providing safety and security for the communities that are struck, and I can tell you there's complete and total devastation in isolated pockets. One man and woman were laying in bed at night, and I want you to think about this. Last night you went to bed safe and secure, and all of a sudden your house vaporizes around you while you're in bed. And that's what happened to one family, and they weren't injured other than some bumps and bruises. It's a miracle, and it happened right here behind the church. Once again, our duty and responsibility has been, since the storm occurred, the safety and the security of the community. We will ensure that. We always have a zero tolerance for theft, but make no mistake about it. If someone comes onto this damaged property or any damaged property tonight and tries to take stuff, it's not going to be a good night for you. Stay away unless you're here to help. And I want to brag on the people of this community. Once again, it's the Polk County I know and love. The neighbors have come out in droves to help the folks that are less fortunate and the folks that suffered utter destruction. Now I want to turn you over to the subject matter experts. And first, I'll turn you over to Paul Wombles, and then he'll introduce the person that's to follow him. But we're all working together. We're here as a sheriff's office, as a county, as a state. We'll not leave these folks. We'll be here to help them, to provide for them, and to comfort them during what was a very terrific evening. Paul?
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Paul Womble. I'm the Emergency Management Director for Polk County. So I want to talk a little bit about the coordination, working together that the Sheriff mentioned. You know, this event started a little before midnight last night. So with coordinated effort between Polk County Sheriff's Office, Polk County Fire Rescue, City of Lakeland Fire Rescue, and Lakeland PD. Part of the damage actually started inside the city of Lakeland, came out here following north. You know, we all saw the reports of semis flipped over. We work very well together here in Polk County, coordinated effort. Today our mission has been the assessment, just what has happened. So that will turn on assistance from our volunteer faith-based groups as well as any government assistance. So we're talking to the state, and we will have some more initial numbers. I know we've had some questions about how many damaged structures, how bad is the damage. That's what we're working on today. It's all about making sure that we get any of the programs that will help the folks that need it, get that turned on, whether it's government programs, volunteer, faith-based organization programs, and community programs. In these type of situations, there will be very little, if any, assistance from the federal government. That's just not the way the system works for these. Unfortunately, a very tragic event for these folks, but in the eyes of the federal government, a smaller deal. So the community stepping up, as the sheriff mentioned, is huge. That's a big part of the recovery. The volunteer, faith-based community will step up and be a big part of that recovery. So we're working that today. We're getting those processes started, and we'll have some more information out on the assessments. And then I'll bring up Brian Lamar from the National Weather Service, and he'll talk about the actual tornado assessment from the eyes of the Weather Service. So, Brian?
Do you have a preliminary number on the number of buildings damaged?
The question is there a preliminary number on the number of damaged buildings? Right now, we're still thinking somewhere around 50 have some level of impact. As you can see behind us, we've got houses that are just completely flattened, and we've got some other ones where the damage is significant, and then some minor cosmetic damage. Some of the damage we saw earlier in the city of Lakeland had glass windows just completely blown out of the backside of a house, so it's a wide spectrum. So somewhere at least 50. We'll get those numbers over the next couple of days. We know there's county parks that have had some damage, so where a school was damaged, so all the agencies are doing that assessment.
Speaking to, like, you know, the fact that there weren't any bad injuries or any deaths, like that house over there, that could have really been.
We are blessed. We were blessed. There was some very minor injuries, as the sheriff mentioned. The fact that no one lost their life, or that Polk County Fire Rescue did not have to transport anyone to the hospital last night for storm-related injuries, again, is a blessing. And the sheriff mentioned we're at the church. You do the math and you tell me. but that's a good thing.
And this morning we noticed the flag is up still at the house.
Flag
The
is up.
cross is still up as well.
Flag is up. So, Brian, I'll bring Brian Lamar up from the National Weather Service.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Lamar. I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service in Tampa. And again, I want to thank Sheriff J.D. Grudd and Paul Womble here at Polk County for allowing us access to this area to really survey it. What the National Weather Service does is we come into the area after the storms and survey the damage to determine what is the rating, how strong were those winds with the tornado. And what we looked at so far, and as Paul and the sheriff mentioned, is that we're still doing some of the surveys. But what we can see so far, the highest rating has been on the EF-2 scale. And so the tornado scale goes from 0 to 5. Florida has never seen an F5 before, and Florida has only seen 2 F4s in its history, and that was back in 1958 and 1966. And F2 is relatively rare. Typically we'll see them during the winter times, during an El Nino year when we have strong winter storms, and also when we have hurricanes and tropical storms. So again, like the tropical storm we saw move through the area last night, that allowed these tornadoes to develop across Polk County. So again, EF2 is the max range that we're seeing so far, and that brings wind speeds of about 120 miles per hour. And so again, you can see the damage behind me, and the sheriff mentioned some of the devastating stories of talking to the residents that have been in those homes when these tornadoes hit last night. So again, between about 10:45 and 11:45 is that time period when these tornadoes produce the damage. So again, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to the office. Again, our National Weather Service office is in Ruskin, and we're going to be looking at the radar data again, comparing it with the damage points, and we're going to be coming out today or tomorrow with our final survey. But again, looking at EF2 max damage here with wind speeds up to 120 miles per hour.
So, so you believe that an EF-2 tornado made its way through Kathleen here?
That's right. Yeah, with the damage, some of the points that we see behind us, it range from EF0, EF1, EF2, but a couple of the homes behind us actually are looking at EF2 damage.
But we can call this an EF2 tornado touchdown.
It is. So the way the National Weather Service rates a tornado, it'll be rate by the maximum. So this tornado will be rated as an EF2.
And how, I guess, rare is it for there to be no severe bodily damage with an EF2?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is there often severe damage?
There, typically, when you start looking at wind speeds, 120 miles per hour, you would expect there to be more injuries. But I think because of the preparedness efforts of Polk County and the sheriff and getting the message out there to really be prepared when severe weather strikes, and that's why we're seeing that we had very few, if any, injuries. And so again, people knew what to do. Thanks again to the sheriff and Polk County Emergency Management, this area was prepared. And they're also what's called storm ready. This was a recognition that we did in Polk County in 2012 at Sun and Fun. After the tornadoes hit this area on March 31st, 2011, 9 tornadoes moved across Tampa Bay, impacting Polk County. So again, this area is very strong on preparedness and making sure that the public is safe.
When you say EF-2 tornado, what's the wind speed? What's the strength of that?
The EF-2 tornado ranges in wind speed. What we're rating it here is 120 miles per hour.
So we can say with sustained winds of 120 miles per hour.
That's right. Sustained winds 120 miles at this location.
And if we want to be in touch with the people most severely impacted, would it be like right in this area, the 2 folks who were in their house when that tornado came? Is that like the worst of it here in Polk County?
It is. There's multiple areas, and so we're still surveying other points. And so the homes behind me right now are rated at EF2. Some are EF1. But I think the main point to remember is that it really doesn't matter what the rating is. Someone's home was destroyed, someone's home was damaged, someone's roof was damaged, someone potentially could have been injured more. So again, regardless of the wind speed, a tornado moved through here and did significant damage.
Can you, yeah, it's an EF2, but can you just kind of touch on why a tornado like that, even though it's an EF2, why it's so violent?
Typically, anytime you're looking at wind speeds above 100 miles an hour, you're going to be looking at significant damage in the area. The F5 tornadoes go up to over 200 miles per hour, so again, it could have been much worse. But this tornado was produced by the tropical storm that was moving across the area late last night. And typically, tornadoes that form from tropical storms moving across Florida don't usually move higher than the EF2, EF3 rating. So again, we typically see the EF0, EF1, but again, here, all that matters is that damage impacted people's lives, and Polk County was prepared for this severe weather, and we work closely with Polk County and the Sheriff's Office in order to make sure that the public is safe. And I'll turn it back over to the sheriff.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the experts giving you the information today. And once again, we're not going anyplace. We're here for the community and with the community, and we will stay here until this is secure. As you know, cleanup will take a few days, and the experts will come in. We will fly either today or tomorrow, and for the benefit of the county, emergency operations with them, so that we can document from the air the path of destruction. But when you think about late at night, when people are tucked into their beds, and all of a sudden a EF-2 tornado rakes the entire west side of the community and the county, from Lakeland all the way up through Kathleen, that's a pretty strong path. We're fortunate, we're blessed. The good Lord just looked out for these folks, and the cross and the flag still stands, as it always will in Polk County. Take care. Talk to you later.